I always bring a travel espresso setup with me wherever I go, and you can get some really amazing espresso out of them. It just takes a little bit of finessing. I fully admit that I don't think any of these machines is going to make as good of an espresso as you would with your home espresso machine, but that's to be expected. They're smaller and way less expensive. But by following all of the fundamentals and some of the tips that I'll tell you in this video, you'll know what to get for your portable setup and how to get the most out of them. Of course, I always bring a Brew Ledger with me to chart my espresso settings, and they're going to be very different from what you have on your home machine, but there's a space in the top right hand corner to put your coffee gear and information on which machines you're using, so you can always refer back to them later. I'll leave a link to the Brew Ledger and all of the gear that I'm using in this video down in the description, so take a look at that at the end. So to make this video, I brought a lot of espresso gear with me. I've got the Wacaco Picopresso and the stand here, and the Outin Nano as my espresso machines, and then I've got the Femobook A2 and the Outin Fino as the espresso grinders. And you should definitely bring a scale with you. I've got the Outin Claro and the Buku Themis Mini. First, and I know I'm sounding like a broken record like this in every video, but the grinder is the most important part of your setup. Portable setups can be a lot more forgiving of grind size. So for example, if you're using the Outin Nano, they have a pressurized basket that comes with it that you can use to get a much easier espresso. But even so, we want an amazing coffee, not just caffeine. So for that reason, I left the coffee pod adapter at home. So I brought two really good portable grinders on this trip, and I have a review of a third on my channel, the Varia Evo Hybrid Hand Grinder, but I didn't bring that one as my suitcase was already about a quarter full of coffee gear. And I was already looking really dodgy going through airport security with multiple cylindrical metal devices. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm personally not a big fan of hand grinders. I know they can produce great coffee, but I much prefer the convenience and comfort of using an electric hand grinder. But don't worry, if you like them, then your portable setup is totally fine with your Easy Pressos and your Comandante grinders. Now, the Outin Fino is a really solid build, and it's super easy to adjust. I like that the top opens and closes like this to prevent popcorning, and at its lowest settings, it really does create a very, very fine powder. Obviously, since it's designed for use with the Outin Nano, it's a little bit more focused on the espresso end, so you can go up to the top settings and grind really coarse for something like French press, but it's really much better for making espresso or close to espresso level grinds. And there are a total of 28 steps of adjustability in the grind. Outin hasn't published exactly how much difference there is between the steps on this grinder though, so it's a little hard to know exactly how much difference it makes without a high-end particle analyzer. Either way though, it's perfectly capable of making a really great espresso, and you can actually go fine enough that it will choke the machine and you won't get anything out. Now, the Femobook is a little bit clearer on their website. They say that each step is 18 microns, so there's plenty of adjustability there with 128 total steps. The Fino is easier to adjust, and it's a great fit for the Outin Nano, but I have to give props to Femobook here. This is a phenomenal grinder. The coffee I'm producing with it just tastes delicious in both espresso machines. I knew that it was going to be good going in. I had a few friends telling me that it was a great grinder, but I was kind of blown away by how great it was, especially considering the price. It's obviously not as beautiful as the Fino. It's just a black rectangle, and even the LEDs on the power button here are pretty lackluster. Maybe you can see, you just do a long press to wake it up, and then tap it to start the grinder. Some ugly LEDs. But what it lacks in looks, it more than makes up for in grind quality. So both of these grinders are incredibly slow. Check this out. Ready, set, go. Jesus. That's longer than I thought it was. 124. There we go. 204 for the Outin Fino. That is slow. So basically, don't expect to be turning around coffee after coffee very quickly. The battery life on these grinders is also really important. There's nothing worse than running out of juice just when you're grinding. Plugging the grinder in charges relatively quickly, but the Fino doesn't work while it's plugged in, which is a bit weird. The Femobook does. Now, I'm not going to go into a full video about the scales, but both of these scales are perfectly competent. I would say that I prefer the Buku Mini scale. It's really small, it has that tiny little case, very, very comfortable to travel with and super reliable. But the Outin Claro scale is also pretty impressive, especially considering the price. It's about half the price of the Buku mini scale, and it's perfectly compact. It has a really nice case that it comes with, so it's very easy to travel with too. But yeah, don't forget a scale. You still need to weigh your coffee, especially going in if you want to get a decent espresso. So let's talk about the Outin Nano espresso maker. It's the first of the two that I brought with me. The key feature of this one for me is the ability to boil water within the device, so you don't need a separate kettle. I was in a little hotel in the countryside last week for a Latin dance festival, and at that time having this machine with the ability to boil water was incredibly useful. You just grind your coffee, fill the portafilter basket inside, hold the button down, and then it starts boiling the water, and it'll automatically start pulling the shot once the water is boiled. This level of simplicity is kind of insane in a portable device, and I really like the simple, easy user experience. The only thing is you'll want to make sure that you've got it set up somewhere nicely over a cup so that it can start pulling the shot as soon as it's done, because it doesn't give you any warning, just a beep, and then it starts pulling the shot. So you don't want to like leave it on the counter or something and then have espresso pulling out everywhere. I generally prefer to use a different cup than this one. I mean, this one's fine, I guess, and if you hold it over it, it's totally okay. Funnily enough, it actually works really well with Wacaco's stand here. Unfortunately, I didn't get the double basket in time for this trip, so I was using the single pressurized basket. It was still pretty good, much better than getting a crappy coffee at a local cafe. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this picture I took of an espresso shot at a local cafe for a Latin dance festival last year. So I came back a few days ago and I've been testing this double basket that I got for the Outin Nano, and it is significantly better than the pressurized one that comes with it. The only thing that's a bit of a shame is that they put a little hole for the espresso to come out of instead of just making it an open one like a bottomless portafilter basket. I would say that this is a non-negotiable upgrade for the Outin Nano. Now the Wacaco Picopresso is pretty brilliant. It's so well thought out in terms of keeping everything really tight and minimalistic. So the dosing ring and palm tamper fit nice and snug in the top, along with a brush and a 1-pin WDT. And it has a full 18-gram basket in the bottom, which fits the little spoon inside it as well. To generate pressure, it uses this little vent at the side, which conveniently locks back in so you can put it in the case afterwards, and you just press until you hear the pressure start to build. Making espresso with it is really easy. The only thing I would recommend is make sure that you heat it up once or twice before you start pulling a shot to get more consistent temperatures. This is the same as with any manual machine that isn't heated independently. And it's really easy to dial in as well. It only took me about 2 shots with this nice Ethiopian espresso from Dubov, and tracking my settings with the Brew Ledger, of course. The only real issue for me with all combinations of these portable setups is the mess, both before and after you pull your shot. This is true of both machines, to be honest. With the single pressurized basket on the Outin Nano, it was especially hard because there's no dosing ring. Moving 7 grams of coffee from this grinder into this small little cup is going to leave some grinds on your hand and probably on the table as well. With the Picopresso, I ended up putting the dosing ring between it and the Femobook A2's dosing cup, and that kind of created a seal that stopped the coffee grinds from going everywhere. After you pull your espresso shot, you might find it a little difficult to get the coffee out of the basket as well. On both machines, this wasn't as easy as with a portafilter handle, but especially on the Nano pressurized basket, no matter how hard I knocked it, it basically wouldn't come out. The only way was to use a spoon to break up the coffee puck inside and knock it out that way. And I know I'm crazy, but I'm not bringing a knock box with me on holiday. Really, the main thing to decide between these two setups is convenience, flavor, and price. For me, the Wacaco makes a better tasting espresso. It's also a lot smaller, even in the case with all the components inside. It's about half the size of the Outin Nano alone. But the convenience of the battery-powered heating and shot is undeniable. If you're out in the woods, mountains, or beaches and you don't want to bring a kettle, which you probably don't, this is going to be the one to go for. Just a note though, the Nano just stops when it runs out of battery, so it'll stop boiling water or even pulling a shot. So make sure that it's properly charged so you don't get disappointed. And just in terms of price, if I was to go with the Outin set versus the other 3 combined, it's a really big difference in price. In the UK, the Outin Nano is £140, the Outin Fino is around £180, and the Claro is around £50. So if you get the double basket as well, which is around £40, that brings the total to just over £400. So if you want to get the other set, the Wacaco Picopresso is around £110, then the Femobook A2 is only around £80, and the Buku mini scale is around £110 £200 as well. So that brings the total for that set to around £300. If we're just talking functionality, you'll need to add a kettle to that to make the second set on par, but even so, it's still significantly cheaper. Of course, you could mix and match. You could get the Outin Nano if you wanted that one with the Femobook A2 grinder and the Outin scale, which would bring the price down quite a bit. I'll let you do the math. Anyway, I hope you found this video useful, and if you want to level up your espresso game, check out the Brew Ledger in the description. It's probably the best thing I've ever made. It's got glowing reviews both on my website and on Amazon, where you can buy it in 13 different countries. Thank you so much for watching, you wonderfully overcaffeinated people, and I'll see you on the next one.